The notification bell wouldn't stop ringing. At first, I thought it was a glitch. But when I opened my phone, I froze. The secret diary, Confessions of a Campus Girl, my anonymous blog, had blown up overnight. Over 50,000 views. 1,000 comments. And one very familiar name trending in the tags. Ethan Cole. Campus Prince. Student Council President. Walking perfection in designer sneakers. And, unfortunately, my favorite target. Post number 12, the Golden Boy's smile probably has Wi-Fi. Because how else does it connect to every girl's brain instantly? I never meant for people to find it. The blog was supposed to be a private rant space, just me, my coffee, and my sarcasm. But now, everyone at Rosebridge University was quoting Luna. Did you see the new post about Ethan? She called him a human group project. Always there, never actually doing anything. Luna's savage. I wanted to sink into the floor. My roommate, Maya, peeked over her cereal. You look like you just found out your ex is your cousin. I didn't mean for it to go viral. I sputtered. What if someone figures out it's me? She shrugged. Relax. You're literally the quietest girl on campus. No one's connecting you to Luna. But later that day, I ran into him. Ethan Cole himself. He was standing by the journalism board, holding a printout of my post. Our eyes met. His expression unreadable. Hey, he said slowly, that infuriatingly perfect smirk curling up. You read this Luna girl's blog? My pulse tripped. Who hasn't? He chuckled. She's got guts. Wonder who she is. He leaned closer. If I ever find her, I might just make her life interesting. My heart skipped a beat. Not because of the way he said it, though, okay, maybe that too, but because he was standing so close I could smell his cologne. And because I had just posted a new entry 10 minutes ago. Post number 13, some people think they're the protagonist. But sweetie, you're just the plot twist. And it was, unmistakably, about him. The worst thing about going viral? People start acting like detectives. By lunchtime, every student group chat had a new topic. Who is Luna? Someone even started a Reddit thread titled Top 10 Suspects. We know it's one of us. My personal favorite comment. She's probably an English major with trust issues. Okay, rude. Also, accurate. Maya leaned across the cafeteria table, phone in hand. You're trending on campus Twitter again. People think Luna is secretly from the journalism department. I choked on my orange juice. What? Why? She grinned. You literally used the phrase institutional hypocrisy in one post. Who else says stuff like that? My life was spiraling. And just when I thought it couldn't get worse. Hey, Park. I didn't have to look up to know that voice. Smooth. Confident. Annoyingly warm. Ethan Cole. He slid into the seat across from me, completely ignoring the three girls trying not to squeal behind him. Got a question for you, he said casually. You're in journalism, right? Yeah, I said carefully. He tapped his phone screen. And there it was, my blog. Any idea who Luna might be? His tone was light, but his eyes. Sharp. I forced a laugh. Why? Planning to sue her for emotional damage? He smirked. Nah. Just curious. I like people who aren't afraid to say what they think. Then he leaned back, eyes glinting. Even if they're wrong. Ouch. Maybe she just has taste, I shot back. He chuckled, slow and dangerous. Maybe she has a death wish. Before I could answer, his phone buzzed. He glanced at it and stood. See you around, Park. And hey, if you ever meet Luna. He paused, smiling faintly. Tell her I'm looking for her. And then he was gone. My heart was not racing. It was just practicing self-defense. That night, I escaped to my safe space, my anonymous chat app. Orion was already online. Orion, rough day? Luna, you could say that. Someone's hunting me. Orion, oh, sounds fun. Who's the unlucky guy? Luna, Ethan Cole. Orion, the golden boy? Luna, yeah. He's suspicious. Orion, maybe he likes you. I laughed out loud. Luna, impossible. He only likes mirrors. Orion, you sure? Sometimes the person you roast the hardest is the one you secretly want to understand. For a moment, I didn't type anything. Because that hit a little too close. The next morning, I walked into class and froze. Professor Allen was grinning at the front of the room. For your next project, you'll be paired up randomly to write a feature story together. He started calling names. Maya with Dylan. Grace with Leo. And interesting, Luna Park with Ethan Cole. The room exploded in whispers. Ethan turned toward me, smile slow and knowing. Guess we'll be spending a lot of time together, partner. If hell had a group project, this was it. Ethan Cole. Me. One feature article. And exactly 2 weeks to finish it. I tried to convince Professor Allen to reconsider, but he just smiled like a man who enjoyed chaos. It'll be a great learning experience, Luna. Opposites bring balance. Right. Like gasoline and fire. When Ethan showed up to our first meeting, he looked like he was coming to a fashion shoot instead of the library, crisp shirt, rolled sleeves, faint trace of cologne that could make angels file complaints. He dropped his bag across from me. So, partner, what's our angle? I cleared my throat. We're supposed to write about student life in the digital age. Maybe we focus on how social media affects reputation. He smirked. Sounds familiar. You're not secretly Luna, are you? My heart hiccuped. I forced a laugh. Please. If I were, I'd have better things to do than roast you. Harsh. He leaned back in his chair, studying me. You're surprisingly witty, Park. You hide it well. Oh no. Compliments from Ethan Cole were like sugar-coated poison. Sweet, but guaranteed regret later. Let's just start with interviews, I muttered. Divide the work. I'll handle the writing. He raised an eyebrow. You don't trust me to write. I've seen your student council emails. That made him laugh, a real one, not the charming fake he used on everyone else. It made me want to smile back, which was annoying. Halfway through the meeting, Maya texted me. Maya, OMG, he's sitting across from you right now, isn't he? He's smiling. Do you two have chemistry? Me, we have a chemical reaction, yes. It's called combustion. That night, I went back to my blog. Post number 14, the golden boy gets a partner. Maybe fate has a twisted sense of humor. Or maybe karma just has Wi-Fi. The post blew up within hours. People commented things like, Luna x Ethan enemies to lovers arc when? Golden boy finally meets his match face with tears of joy. If only they knew. Later, I logged into the chat app. Orion was online again. Orion, you disappeared last night. Everything okay? Luna, just busy. Got paired up with someone annoying for a project. Orion, annoying how? Luna, too confident. Too charming. Too loud. Orion, you sound like you like him. Luna, absolutely not. Orion, aha. Denial detected. I rolled my eyes. His impossible, I muttered out loud. Orion, you'll see. Sometimes the person who irritates you most becomes the one who changes you. Before I could reply, a new message notification popped up. From Ethan. Ethan, hey, partner. Don't forget, we're interviewing tomorrow morning. Coffee shop at 9. Don't be late, winky face. How did he even get my number? I sighed, staring at the message. Then, a second notification blinked. From Orion. Orion, by the way, what time did you say your meeting was again? My stomach flipped. I never told him. Saturday morning. Rainy sky. Empty stomach. Zero will to socialize. Perfect conditions for meeting Ethan Cole. I arrived at Cafe Indigo 10 minutes early, hoping to grab a quiet table in the corner. No such luck, he was already there. Sitting by the window, one hand wrapped around a mug, sunlight catching the streaks in his hair. He looked like he'd walked out of a university brochure titled Your Future Starts Here. Morning, partner, he said when I sat down. You're early. I like that. Don't get used to it. He grinned. I won't. We started the interview, which was basically me doing all the talking while he doodled on a napkin. So, I said, tapping my pen, how do you think social media affects campus reputation? He looked up, lazy and amused. Depends. Are we talking about people posting too many gym selfies, or anonymous bloggers roasting innocent students? I froze mid-note. You still on that? He leaned closer. You'd tell me if you were Luna, right? Sure, I said lightly. Right after I admit I'm Batman. He chuckled and leaned back again. Fair enough. The rest of the interview went surprisingly smooth. He was articulate, funny, and occasionally serious in a way that made me forget to breathe. When I packed my notes, he said, "You're not what I expected." Meaning? I thought you'd be quiet. Turns out you bite. I rolled my eyes. You make it sound like that's a bad thing. He smiled, slow, deliberate. Not at all. That night, I sat cross-legged on my bed, laptop open. The blog was still exploding. Post number 15, when your project partner is a walking distraction. Some people talk like they're writing poetry. Others talk like they're daring you to fall first. Within minutes, comments poured in. This has to be about Ethan again. Golden Boy's days are numbered. Face with tears of joy. I laughed, feeling oddly warm. Then I switched to my chat app. Orion was online. Orion, still up late? Luna, yeah. Can't sleep. Orion, thinking about your project partner? Winky face. Luna, maybe. His, confusing. Orion, how so? Luna, his annoying, but also kind when I don't expect it. It's infuriating. Orion, sounds like he's getting to you. Luna, no way. I don't fall that easy. Orion, good. Neither do I. For a moment, the chat went quiet. Then I noticed something strange. His typing bubble appeared. Disappeared. Appeared again. Then. Orion, by the way, that cafe near the journalism building, do they still sell blueberry muffins on Saturdays? My pulse stopped. I hadn't told anyone which cafe we met at. I hadn't even mentioned the muffins. Luna, how do you know that? Long pause. Orion, just a guess. But my heart was already racing. Because when I looked back at his earlier messages, I realized something I'd missed before: his phrasing, his jokes, his tone. It was familiar. The next morning at class, Ethan waved at me like nothing had happened. And when he smiled, the same phrasing slipped from his mouth. Rough night, partner? My notebook nearly fell off my desk. That was the exact line Orion had typed the night before. I used to think the worst feeling in the world was bombing an exam. I was wrong. The real worst feeling? Seeing your anonymous blog open on someone else's laptop while your name is in the browser history. It started that morning. Campus felt too bright, too loud. I kept hearing whispers. Did you see the leak? They say Luna's a journalism student. My stomach twisted. I hurried to class. Ethan was already there, scrolling on his phone, jaw set. He didn't even look up when he said, "You've had an interesting morning, Park." My pulse spiked. What do you mean? He turned the screen toward me. My blog. Open. And at the top an anonymous post on the campus forum. Confirmed, Luna equals Luna Park, journalism department. My blood ran cold. How did, who, I stammered. Ethan's expression was unreadable. Someone hacked your account. Or maybe you slipped. I didn't. I whispered. For a moment, neither of us spoke. The noise of the classroom faded until all I could hear was my own heartbeat. Finally, he said quietly, "You could have told me." Told you what? That I've been roasting you online for months. He gave a humorless laugh. Yeah. That would have been a start. I opened my mouth, but Professor Allen walked in, announcing, "Group project presentations next week." Ethan shut his laptop with a snap. "We'll talk later." The rest of the day blurred. People stared when I passed. A few even smiled like they knew a secret. Maya texted 100 frantic messages, half apology, half conspiracy theory, but I couldn't even look at them. By evening, I was hiding in the media lab, lights dim, trying to breathe. Then my chat app pinged. Orion. Orion, heard things got messy today. You okay? Luna, you knew, didn't you? Orion, knew what? Luna, that I'm Luna Park. No reply. Then. Orion, I guessed. Luna, when? Orion, the day we met at the cafe. My fingers trembled. Luna, who are you really? Orion, you already know. And before I could respond, another message appeared. From Ethan. Ethan, meet me at the journalism courtyard. Now. The courtyard was empty, the night cold enough to bite. Ethan stood under the lamplight, phone in hand. So, he said softly, it's true. I couldn't find words. Ethan, He cut me off. You made the whole campus laugh at me, Luna. Every post, every nickname. And I still. He stopped, jaw tight. Forget it. I stepped closer. You still what? He looked up, eyes burning. I still liked talking to you. My breath caught. Because that voice, that phrasing, it was Orion's. I knew it, I whispered. You're him. His eyes widened for a split second, then softened. Yeah. And I'm an idiot for not seeing it sooner. Silence stretched between us, heavy with everything unsaid. I didn't mean to hurt you, I said quietly. The blog was just me being honest. Maybe too honest. He exhaled slowly. Honest is good. Lies aren't. And then, without another word, he turned and walked away. By Monday morning, I wasn't Luna Park anymore. I was Luna the liar. Luna the backstabber. Luna the girl who roasted half the campus and got caught. Every whisper in the hallway hit like a dart. Every laugh sounded like it was about me. Even Maya, my partner in crime, couldn't fix this. She met me outside the dorm with a guilty look. I tried to defend you. But, Luna, people feel exposed. Some of your posts. I never used names, I said. Yeah, but they recognized themselves. I pressed a hand to my forehead. Great. I'm officially the villain of Rosebridge University. The only person who hadn't texted, glared, or confronted me was Ethan Cole. And that silence hurt the most. We still had our project presentation due, but he hadn't shown up to our last 2 meetings. I emailed him drafts, no reply. Sent messages, nothing. Finally, Professor Allen caught me after class. Miss Park, I'm worried about your partner. I haven't seen him all week. The presentation's next Monday. Busy, I said weakly. Busy avoiding me. That night, I went to my usual corner in the library, my safe zone. Except now, even that felt tainted. I opened my laptop and stared at the blank blog editor. For the first time since I'd started the secret diary, I didn't know what to write. The words wouldn't come. Until they did. Post number 16, Confession. I started this blog to survive college. To turn chaos into comedy, and loneliness into words. But somewhere along the way, I forgot that the people I wrote about were real. Especially him. My cursor hovered over publish. I hesitated, then clicked. If this was the end, I wanted it to be honest. The next day, my post was everywhere. Some comments were forgiving. Most weren't. So she admits it, huh? Apology accepted, but you still went too far. At least she's human. I was scrolling through them when my phone buzzed. A message. From Ethan. Ethan, journalism building. Rooftop. Now. I almost didn't go. Almost. But curiosity, or maybe guilt, dragged me up the stairs. He was there, hands in his pockets, wind tugging at his hair. You've been hiding, he said. Trying to let the internet calm down, I muttered. He nodded slowly. I read your post. I waited for the lecture. The cold words. The I told you so. But instead, he said, it was brave. My head snapped up. Brave? Yeah, he said quietly. Most people don't admit when they're wrong. You did. The lump in my throat almost choked me. You're not still mad? He looked at me for a long moment. I was. Still am, a little. Then, softer, but I miss talking to you more than I liked being mad. Something in my chest twisted. You mean? He shrugged, half smiling. You think I'd stop talking to my favorite blogger forever? We stood there in silence, wind humming around us. It wasn't forgiveness, not yet. But it was something better. A second chance. Then his phone buzzed. He frowned. Professor Allen, he said. He just moved our presentation to tomorrow. I groaned. Tomorrow? We're dead. He grinned. Relax, partner. I have a plan. And the way he said it made me wonder if his plan involved more than just passing grades. Caffeine. Chaos. And the smell of printer ink. That's how every great disaster begins. Ethan spread his notes across the journalism lab table like a general planning a war. We've got 8 hours to turn this mess into an award-winning feature, he said. I rubbed my temples. Award-winning? Let's try barely passing first. He flashed that trademark grin. No faith in us. I have faith in coffee. You, not so much. He laughed, the real one, the warm, unguarded kind that made the night feel less impossible. We worked in silence for a while. He typed, I edited. Outside, the campus emptied. Inside, only the hum of fluorescent lights kept us company. At 1 a.m., he broke the silence. Hey, Luna. Yeah. Why did you start the blog? I hesitated. I guess. I wanted to be seen. Everyone here acts perfect all the time, and I felt invisible. Writing made me feel like I existed. He nodded slowly. You do exist. Loudly. I threw a crumpled paper at him. Shut up. He caught it easily, smiling. I mean it. You're brave. Maybe reckless, but brave. Something inside me warmed. Thanks, I think. We went back to work, the kind of quiet where every keystroke feels like a heartbeat. By 3 a.m., the article was done. Title, Digital Masks, How Social Media Shapes Our Real Selves. He leaned back in his chair. Not bad, partner. Not bad at all. I yawned. You know, if we fail, I'm blaming you. Fair. If we ace it, you owe me coffee. Deal. He looked at me for a long moment, eyes softer than I'd ever seen. Hey, he said quietly. About everything that happened, what you wrote, what I said, we're good, right? I nodded. We're good. He smiled. Then let's make it official. He reached out a hand. I took it. Warm. Solid. Real. Somewhere between the handshake and the smile that followed, the air changed. He didn't let go. Neither did I. For a second, the world shrank to that small circle of light around us. And I wondered if I leaned closer, would he meet me halfway? The door creaked open. Professor Allen poked his head in. Working late, you two? We sprang apart like guilty fireworks. Ethan coughed. Just, finalizing edits. The professor chuckled. Good. Presentations start at 9. Get some rest. After he left, Ethan groaned. 9. That's 5 hours from now. Guess we're pulling an all-nighter. He looked at me, tired eyes bright with mischief. Wouldn't want to do it with anyone else. Sunrise found us sitting on the library steps, holding 2 cups of cheap vending machine coffee and the printed project between us. You realize, I said, this might be the first time I wrote something that didn't roast you. He grinned. Progress. I took a sip, watching the campus wake up. So what now? He glanced at me sideways. Now. We present. Then maybe. He paused. Maybe we start writing a new story. Together. My heart tripped. Is that your way of flirting? He smiled, eyes crinkling. Depends. Is it working? I didn't answer. I just smiled back, and that was answer enough. 5 hours of sleep-deprived chaos later, Ethan and I walked into class looking like zombies in semi-formal clothes. The room buzzed. Whispers followed us again, only this time they weren't angry. Just curious. Professor Allen clapped once. Our final presentation, Digital Masks, by Ethan Cole and Luna Park. Great. No pressure. Ethan nudged me. Ready, partner? Define ready. He grinned. Too late. We're on. He started strong, charming the audience like always. Social media, he said, pacing in front of the screen, lets us edit who we are. But sometimes, the filters hide more than they reveal. Then he looked at me. Right, Luna? For a moment, my throat locked. Everyone's eyes were on me. The same crowd that had gossiped, laughed, and judged. I took a breath. Yeah, I said. We wear digital masks because we're scared of being real. I know, I wore one too long. A ripple of recognition moved through the class. I pressed on. I used to write a blog. It was meant to be funny, honest. But sometimes honesty without kindness just becomes cruelty. My hands trembled, but I didn't stop. I hurt people. I hurt Ethan. And I can't take that back. But I can learn from it. Silence. Then Professor Allen, eyebrows raised. That's unusually candid, Miss Park. Before I could panic, Ethan stepped beside me. She's right, he said. But if we're talking about masks, mine's been perfect guy who never messes up. Truth is, I'm just better at hiding my mistakes than most. He smiled at me then, small, real. Luna taught me it's okay to stop pretending. The class shifted, uncertain at first. Then someone started clapping. Another joined. Within seconds, the whole room was applauding. Professor Allen laughed. Well, that's a first. Full marks for courage and creativity. After class, people actually talked to me again. Some apologized. Some asked if I'd keep writing. Maya barreled through the crowd and hugged me so hard my ribs squeaked. You did it. You two were amazing. Also, was that a confession or what? Don't start, I warned, cheeks burning. Ethan waited near the door, hands in pockets. When I reached him, he smiled. You stole my thunder up there. Please. You loved it. Maybe. His gaze softened. You ready to start over? No secrets this time. I hesitated, then nodded. Yeah. But if you ever quote my blog again, I'm deleting your entire social media existence. He laughed. Fair trade. He offered his hand, I took it. This time, it wasn't a handshake, it was an answer. That night, I opened my laptop one last time. Post number 17, final entry. Sometimes stories don't end with fireworks. Sometimes they end quietly, two people walking side by side, learning how to be honest, together. Thanks for reading. Luna Dizzy. I hit publish and closed the screen. For once, I didn't need the world to see me. Ethan already did. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more original novel stories. And stay tuned, our next story is coming soon.